What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours. Now, as I always say, you can live in the life that has been faithfully set out for you, or you can have the conscious choice to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So listen, before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So look, the title of this video is going to be on the fact that a lot of times in life, you got to stop talking and pay attention, because there are people out there that will use certain tactics to get close to you. And you're not even realizing what's truly going on, because you may have a title, or you may think that you can trust everybody because you in this naive headspace, you know what I'm saying? But you have to be very mindful and aware that there are people out there who are really close to you who don't talk and barely expose their life, but what they do is they listen to you and they ask questions about your life. You know what I'm saying? And what they will do is use the information that you tell them against you in a fit of rage or when they're feeling some type of way. You know what I'm saying? And that basically lets you know truly who you dealing with. Someone that doesn't reciprocate the same, information as you. They just sit back and watch and pay attention. Listen, make sure that you are very aware of your surroundings and pay close attention to understanding maybe you not being aware you should, because you'll learn to keep your mouth closed, not say too much, don't tell too much, you know what I'm saying? Because they're not for you. You know what I'm saying? They can just be playing the role. There are a lot of people that in life that don't want their life to be exposed at all. They do not want to be, you know what I'm saying, humiliated or exposed for the type of person that they really are. So the less that you know about them, the better. You know what I'm saying? But in exchange for that, whatever title or whatever position or however you may see them, you could be the type of person that, you know what I'm saying, just tells the truth and spills everything. And then later on, you'll find out they'll get upset and use something that, you told them, or, you know what I'm saying, use a secret or something that you told them and use it against you when you upset or mad. And you'll start to realize, you feel me, that person is not for you. They are just a monitoring spirit that monitors and listens to information that you reveal to them so that they can get a sharper understanding on how to control people. You know what I'm saying? That is like their tactic. They're not for you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to realize that they do a lot of non-talking. They do not talk, but they watch and they pay attention. You know what I'm saying? But the craziest part about it is, maybe because you're a person that, loves and doesn't throw shade on people, does not mean you should get me underestimated. Because as you're watching and pay attention to me, I'm doing the same thing to you. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy part about it is that because I lead with love, you don't even know that, you know what I'm saying, you encountered someone that's playing the game better than you. You know what I'm saying? But it may not come off like that simply because they lead with love. You know what I'm saying? They're giving a person a chance to expose who they truly are before they just put a title on them. Before they just take, some gossip or something somebody told them and believe in that. So it ruins their chances of actually getting to know that person. You know what I'm saying? You will not have to expose who you truly are until you start to see that, listen, I gave you a chance. Time and time again, you showed me that you wasn't for me. So now, checkmate. You know what I'm saying? And it's the reality that they fear, because those type of people, they are very adamant and in control of their reality so much that they don't think that anyone can sense or, have a scent towards what they got going on, because they never understand that, you know what I'm saying, the less I tell, the less you know, without really understanding that there are some people in the world that you don't really need to talk to them and expose your secrets. They could tell by your body movement, what you engage in, how your emotional responses are to life. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of people that they keep their life tight-lipped, but their behavior and their emotions are not together. You know what I'm saying? So that will paint a perfect picture to you on how they react and the things that they do. You know, listen, there are a lot of people skilled at the art of paying attention to human behavior. You know, and when those people feel as if they're being exposed, they start to get upset. And that's when you know what I'm saying? The role has been reversed. You've cracked it wide open. And they don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So oftentimes, like, they don't go down without a fight. So they'll try again. They'll try again. They'll, you know what I'm saying? They'll be quiet and monitor you and watch you for a while. See how you move. See what you do. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll copy it and play a role as if they're genuinely being nice and honest and open-hearted like you. So you can be able to reveal to them what they don't know. And then watch. You expose to them the areas that they don't like, or you set off a trigger. They use that very set of skills that they learned for you onto you. But so that's when you got to come to a place where you're confident in who you are. You know what I'm saying? You know who you are. Because when you know that, nobody can break it. You know what I'm saying? These people oftentimes have no idea who they are. They're just abiding by a system that tends to work to keep people in fear and in control. And if you jeopardize and pull back some of the things that, you know, they use to, you know, get ahead or use for survival, their whole thing starts crumbling down when they see and realize that that is not phasing them as how it did before. You know what I'm saying? It got to them before. Their central nervous system was all acting up and they needed me back. You know what I'm saying? They did something, called me back. They needed me. And now I'm able to come back in and distort their perception of life and use it to control the narrative for my own benefit. You know what I'm saying? Listen, there are a lot of gifted people in the world, but there are gifted people that use their gifts for darkness, and there are gifted people that use their gifts to solely help humanity. It's a very big difference because the two operate very differently. You know what I'm saying? But they're one and the same, but very different, you know, because at the end of the day, we all started out, you know, with the same thing in mind. But over time, when we got used, abused, and taken advantage of, and our trust was betrayed, now we flipped it. You know what I'm saying? And we started using it to be able to operate in the darkness, you know? Listen, that system is crumbling. And the people that know that system is crumbling, oftentimes they'll stay away from someone that they know can see right through their whole facade, you know? And listen, it's the same. Like with me, I operate out of love. So that means I give a person a chance, despite what people tell me. And I give them multiple chances, you know what I'm saying? Just to see where their head is at. And then after they done did me wrong hella times, now it's time for me to stay away. So you got to think the same is for people who operate in darkness as well. You know what I'm saying? They test people to see, is my games, my antics going to work? You know what I'm saying? Oh, damn. If it don't work the fifth, sixth time, oh, I got to stay away. I got to not bother that person because now they're starting to see through my facade. And at that point in time, it's kind of like moving into this new world with this new energy. Listen, repent for the things that you have done. Come to terms with your life and be honest. Confront who you need to confront. Have a conversation with who you need to have a conversation with. And figure out how to use the gifts God has given you for good. Otherwise, it's going to be a time where you're going to have to sit in your misery. And trust and believe, I wouldn't want that for nobody. Simply because I done been in situations where I felt like it was over. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have nowhere to turn. I didn't have no outlet. And what it made me feel in my body is something I wouldn't wish on nobody. You know what I'm saying? But again, that choice is solely up to people. And that's when the universe makes its, you know, twists and turns and choices strong as hell. Like they can't avoid it, even if they want to. Because at some point, that trail is an invisible one that catches up to you after so long of you leading that trail without realizing your evidence that you're leaving behind. Because you got to think about it like this. People who operate in their darkness with their gifts, it's solely to benefit them. But they do it so cunningly by observing human behavior. So they think that they're not ever leaving a trail. You know what I'm saying? Because truly and honestly, like they'll do something to put someone in fear to benefit them or do them wrong, and then they'll cover it up with like, oh, being nice and let's go to lunch, without understanding that that person didn't forget. They could just be holding on to whatever you did to them and waiting for the right time to catch on to maybe someone else experiencing the same thing. And then once it's a time where all those people are determined to make sure you stop whatever you're doing, that's when shit hits the fan. You know what I'm saying? And people don't be ready for that. You know, but it's listen, it's real. It's understanding and knowing that at the end of the day, you can read the Bible 1,000 times. You could go back and front and back. One thing I do know is that we are not supposed to be evil to each other for our own personal gain. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be a world that works together with understanding. There's going to be difference of opinions. There's going to be people who think differently than you. There's going to be people who like things different than you. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But you don't hate them for that. You know what I'm saying? You don't look at them as any different for that. You know? And so I think it's a time and era now where the the darkness is being tracked more than ever. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's best to figure out who you are so you could understand how to get that in line. Because if you don't, you will be tracked. And I promise you, dark evil intentions and dark behavior is only so long until it's revealed. Only so many times you can decide to keep acting like that and don't think there's any consequences for it. You know what I'm saying? Because it will be. It's a new world order now, you know? And a lot of things that were okay back then are not okay now. You know? So it's like, it's a time where you're going to get triggered over and over again until you start to see the wrongs of your misdoing. And listen, it doesn't even matter sometimes how many times you point out to someone by the universe of someone's wrongdoings. It's like it's almost a brain defect. They still don't think they did anything wrong, and they move on and they try to get someone else. Listen, I'm telling you right now that rain is up, and you just are not aware of God's wrath, the universe's wrath, and what he's capable of and the things that he can do. You know what I'm saying? Simply because you refuse to step down from your dark place, you know, because you are just into this certain type of reign where you need power and control because it benefits you to feel as if you're superior to everybody else due to childhood trauma. Straight like that. Like let's not avoid that. It's the truth. You know what I'm saying? In all honesty, people pin that trauma against people and they turn into these people that feel as if the world revolves around them. You know what I'm saying? And when that is crippled or diminished, they feel some type of way. And they will do whatever they can to make sure that doesn't happen. But when it all starts to fall down because they can no longer sweep and clean up after themselves because they're leaving too much of a paper trail, you know what I'm saying? You got a choice. And it's up to you what you decide you're going to do with it. You know what I'm saying? But if I was you, I would make a smart choice. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, the universe ain't sparing nobody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very blessed and thankful to be able to be aware. Because listen, I think living life and exploring it and being able to, you teach your kids the right way and being here for them and living a long life is very important. You know what I'm saying? I believe everybody should be able to live to like 105. But the average lifespan is I think is like 75, 80. You know what I'm saying? But it's all due to your internal spirit and how you perceive life. And I want to make sure that I see my grandkids. You know what I'm saying? So listen, I'm gonna clean my spirit, okay? Cause I don't want to play. You know, I refuse. You playing with the universe when you think your dark activities are going to be able to keep surviving a world where people are waking up in a mass way. You know what I'm saying? And they're starting to see the realness of working hard, you know what I'm saying, doing what you need to do and being able to get ahead, not by being controlled, but because you put the work in. You know, nobody want to work for nobody. And what I mean by that is, you know what I'm saying, being controlled and possessed and holding a title over your head and your financial security threatened and your stability threatened. Nobody wants to have to deal with that with someone who just wants power. You know what I'm saying? It's understanding when, hey, we both humans. We both trying to get ahead. We all trying to eat. We both trying to have stuff for our families, which means if you identify with me and I identify with you, it won't be no power. You know what I'm saying? But listen, those unhealed scars from that childhood got people operating that way. You know what I'm saying? And now is the time that, you know, you'll be more open to understanding why those scars are so unhealed is because you haven't forgiven the people that done it to you solely because you thought that was how it was supposed to be, instead of understanding they got their own trauma too. I'm not saying it's right, but at the same time, if you don't know how to heal it, it's going to do nothing but progress from generation to generation to generation. And that is the understanding. You know, it didn't just come out of nowhere. They just didn't do that to you on purpose out of nowhere. It's because they're unhealthy humans in their own life. But now you have the chance to move forward. You know, regardless if you get closure or an apology, your choice to live in the now is up to you. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I'm 105, 107. You feel me? We there. You know? So listen, it's all about healing your spirit and taking care of yourself. And, you know, not doing things from a spiteful energy, but doing things from how would you feel if somebody did what you was doing to somebody else to you? You know what I'm saying? It's a very real thing. And a lot of, you know, the babies that are being born in this day and age, they're already having this spirit of energy of knowing how to lead with truth. So it's going to be very hard at some point to fight when the numbers are increasing of people waking up and you're choosing to still operate in your dark energy. You know what I'm saying? It's either now or never. You feel me? So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.